Hello. At the end of the last video, I was going to send the rough mix of the song production to my client. It's been approved. First time, no revisions. This makes me so happy. Right, so today I'm going to put the finishing touches onto it. Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Stuart. I'm a song producer and session musician. I've worked on many songs for clients around the world. Today, I'm going to put the finishing touches on this production. So I'm going to add the final pieces of the puzzle, cymbal swells, shakers, maybe a reverse piano, a couple of other tweaks maybe here and there. Then once it's all recorded, I'll tidy up the session, back up all the files, render out all the tracks, and then finally send the completed audio files to my client, who's going to mix the song himself. If you've got a song that you'd like me to produce for you, I'd love to work with you on your project. Jump over to www.stubertstudios.com for more information. Right, let's get to work. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is, coming out of this intro into verse 1, I want to bring in something that builds up and then suddenly stops. So I reckon we'll put a cymbal swell in there. Now in my template I have all this all set up, ready to go. Thing with cymbal swells, always make sure you get the peak of the cymbal swell on the downbeat. Okay, so you could do it like that. You could just leave it building up and just ringing out. Which is fine, but I'm actually going to try just cutting it at the downbeat.
Take it all for granted.
And with cymbal swells, they're very effective, but don't use too many of them. Here, a cymbal swell will work really well, but a full cymbal swell. And again, the thing with cymbal swells, don't make them too loud. Make them background, not forefront. Okay, so what's the volume on that first one? A bit loud.
Take it all for granted.
And then the second one. Okay, and now I'll try not to use cymbal swells until I might use one, maybe two others in the song. So the next one would work well from the bridge to the lead, and it's the same one. Turn it down. Now here, because we're going to go to a stabby section, we could use the same thing as what we did at between the intro and verse 1. So we bring the cymbal swell, but we cut it at the downbeat. And this is also going to have a reverse piano at this point. So you got, it adds to the build up. So we're doing that, we're doing that, and then we'll make it the same or similar volume to the others. So that now goes. Final cymbal swell in on the end, and we'll let this one ring out. And this one I'm just going to do just a little bit louder. And that is the cymbal swells put into the song. So we'll bounce those out, or render it. Right, and I said we were going to put reverse piano at this point, didn't I? So I've created a folder with reverse piano notes already in them, so I haven't got to play it each time. I've pre-done it. So the only thing you need to do is pick the right one for it. The chord before the stabby is a B minor and the stabby is a G, so it's either going to be B minor or G is the right note for it. I'm going to try G, so all I'm doing there is dragging it across. Wherever it is, there it is. Alright, so see what that sounds like.
But life goes on without it. But life goes on without it.
Yeah, like that. And that's actually going to be the only time that I use a reverse piano on there, because I want it to have an effect, but I don't want it to be a common occurrence. But I'm actually going to put a transition at that point as well, and I'm going to use in Contact, there's a plugin called Rise and Hit. And then are we letting it ring out, or are we stopping it? Let's have a listen.
Without it.
Yeah, so again we're going to cut that off at the downbeat.
Without it.
A bit louder than that maybe. But that will be down to my client when he mixes it as to how loud that actually is.
Without it.
Just that something extra that you haven't heard before. I'm going to put a shaker on there. What mic should we use? Yeah, give me a minute and I'll be back to do the shaker. Okay, I have my shaker. Okay, right. We're only going to bring it. We're going to bring it in for chorus 2 and the bridge, and then it'll go out again. I'm not going to have it for the lead or the down verse, and then we'll bring it back in for the final choruses and the outro. Okay, so now that's what one's done, we're going to put tambourine on it. I think we're ready for the next stage, which is to tidy up all the files, make sure that there's no noises at the start and the end of each of them, render out the instruments, and then we're ready. Right, so before we go any further, I just want to double check that I'm happy with that drum kit sound. Just going to try a different snare to see what it sounds like. Yeah, I think I prefer that. I'm going to tune it down a little bit though. Yeah, that one works. Okay, so this is a completely personal choice. I always like to back up any MIDI files that I do. That way, if I ever have to go back into the session and change anything or add anything, we can do it within the MIDI file rather than have to re-record everything from scratch. So I always back them up, which I have actually done on this session. I did that off camera. The other thing that I like to do is because as you know, I record using DI guitars. Talking of which, if you use DI guitars, but you are struggling to get a sound that you're happy with, I found the solution that works for me. Go to www.stubertstudios.com/guitars. There I have a free guide that will talk you through my process of how I set up ready to record DI guitars and using amp sims. Pop over to www.stubertstudios.com/guitars. Get your free copy today. Alright. When it comes to backing up, I like to back up all the guitars as well. Now I'm going to rename these. I'm going to save them out so that they all start at the beginning of the track rather than punching in. And we rename them for a couple of reasons. The main one being that when my client opens up the file and imports them, these files are going to come in this order, and they're going to look all nice, neat and tidy for him. Make it very easy for him to work with. Okay, so they're all renamed. So when he imports those, they will come in that order so that he can work with them from there. I'm gonna copy these into a backup folder for the DI controls for this track. Studio One is really easy because you can just drag it across. Done. Right, so all my backups are done. What I am going to do, I'm just going to go through bass, acoustic guitars, make sure that the intros are nice and quiet, there's no sort of clicks, bangs, string noises or anything like that before the actual things start. We'll go through and make sure any silent bits are silent, and again at the end. And yes, you could use something like strip silence, but I like to control when it fades in, when it fades out, rather than it telling me. Okay, so now we've done that, Again, I'm going to render that. Don't need to worry about it on the guide vocal because it is just a scratch track that's not going to be used on the final product. Next stage is we're going to transform, or we're going to render in all of these guitar amps, and we are going to transform the MIDI tracks to audio tracks. Any faders or anything, make sure that they are zeroed out. Okay, what I'm also going to do, because we didn't use orchestra and background vocals, let's get rid of those. Tracks, and we'll get rid of them over here too. So we're going to do all the guitars first. This is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm going to use technology so that you're not waiting the amount of time that I am. Right, okay, great. Guitars are all rendered out. So now we're going to render out all the MIDI instruments. Again, with modern technology, I'm going to click my fingers and it'll all be done. Okay, so that's all the files rendered out. I've done a really quick balance mix on all the basses so that we can listen to it. But before we do, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me on this series. It means the world to me that you're here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. What has been your takeaway from this series? Please drop a comment below. Let me know. Once again, thank you. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.
We take it all for granted. We have it up and wired. Keep your IT updated and your account protected. Hey, give me a break. Our work is now much faster with these machines in order. Have your OT upgraded? Did I accept get started? Hey, give me a break. Hey, the things you make are programmed to fail. Raging with technology to be unsupported, craving for identity, stay up in the race and keep up with the pace. Am I taken for granted? Consent or be deleted? I may be disconnected, but life goes on without it.